Here we go. So tonight, our theme is, since last week we did shoulders, upper back, and our neck. This week we're doing lower back and also preparation for skiing. So for everyone out there who's excited about all the snow that we've gotten, this is a little bit for preparation for skiing. And then next week, I'm going to make a video. It won't be live, but next week I'll make a video that will be how to recover from a lot of skiing. So we'll have a little bit of both ends here. We also are going to be focusing on being present, because I think that's how we really enjoy skiing, is if we're really present and in the moment, and we're not thinking about, oh, that time that I fell or I hurt myself, because that causes fear, or I hope I can do this in 20 or 30 years, because that causes anxiety. But instead, just being present in enjoying what you can do at that moment, as a skier, as a snowboarder, as a snowshoer, as any of those things. So being present is going to be our focus. So we'll start, as always, in our easy seat. I'm going to pull my hair back. So finding your way to your easy seat. And as we are arriving, we will have a couple postures that we can use. A yoga strap. You don't need to have one. It's just, I'm going to give you a couple options that if you'd like to use it for a couple poses, you could. So if you have one handy, that'd be great. And of course, we always use blocks or have that as an option. And then at the very end, if you'd like to use a comforter or a bolster, have those handy as well. There is one posture that we'll be pressing on our knees a lot into the mat. And so I have my extra mat, my thin mat, that I'm going to roll out over my knees. So if you have something to support your knees, that might be good too. Well, anyway, here we are in our easy seat. Find your hands up or down. And just feel your sit bones pressing into the mat. We'll take our 5 breaths to disconnect from the world. But this is your time for right now. Let's take an inhale, nice deep inhale, as deep as you can. And as you inhale, let your spine become long. The top of your head reaches towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, let your shoulders fall away from your ears. On your next inhale, imagine inhaling, filling your lungs as though they're balloons all the way up to the top of your lungs here. And as you exhale, pulling that belly button in toward the spine to get all the air out. This next inhale, imagine and feel the ribs on the sides of your body expanding to make room. And then breathing it all out. Imagine all of your lungs empty. Continue breathing in this way, inhaling as deeply as you can. Spine nice and tall. And exhaling as deeply as you can. We'll do one more inhale. And exhale. Before we move, we'll take a moment, just being present and here. And I have a quote from Eckhart Tolle that I think is really important for us thinking about just being present. He says, time isn't precious at all because it is an illusion. What you perceive as precious is not time, but one point out of time, the now. The more you are focused on time, past and future, the more you miss the now. So continuing the thought and the idea of the now, I'm going to roll onto my hands and knees, but keep my knees as wide as the sticky mat, toes together and sitting my hips back on my heels for a nice child's pose, Balasana. We do this often, but this time I'll encourage you to keep, we're going to do a little head twist. So I'm going to have my left ear down on the mat. And if you'd rather put your hands as a pillow or use a block as a pillow for this, you can do so. Whatever is supporting. Maybe I'm going to keep my arms in the traditional child. While we're here, maybe just think about an intention we might want to set for the practice. We're thinking about being present. Maybe that's all we need. We just have to consider, how can I be present for this practice? All right, take a deep inhale in, and maybe using your hands to help support you pressing up. I'm going to switch my head so that now my right ear is on my block or on my mat. So you might also want to think about an intention for being present for your yoga practice the whole week. If you're skiing or snowboarding, maybe even just being present for your family. Find an intention you'd like to carry with you. And take one deep breath in to breathe life into this intention. And one deep breath out as we come out of our Balasana. From here, we roll into our tabletop. I know we come here often, but just check your posture. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And remember, as always, we're pressing into our fingers and into our feet. So it's not just our wrists and knees. All right, from here, do some cat cows, inhaling and exhaling. Maybe to be present in this motion here, really think about your breath. Maybe think about your chin moving with that breath. Moving at your own speed, of course. Really checking your posture. Do one more. And meet me back in the center. All right, we're going to go back into our easy seat. And this time I challenge you, can you remember which foot? I like to do this to challenge my brain. Switch my feet up, and I'm going to roll back into a different foot on top, the leg on top. All right, from here, we're going to do some seated twists like we often do. When we do those twists, make sure your spine is nice and tall. If we are slumped over, we can cause injury in our back. Keep your spine nice and tall. Belly button pulling in toward the spine. Inhaling, arms up overhead. And exhale, twist to the right. Left hand on right knee, right hand behind the head. Inhale, spine tall. Exhale, twist. And from here, keeping your left hand on the knee, inhale your right arm up and exhale, arching over. Feeling activity, a stretch or space growing in the right rib. And come back to center. Do the same thing on the other side. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhaling, twisting to the left. Right hand on left knee. Inhale, spine tall. Exhale, twist to the left. Hold that right hand on the left knee and inhale, left hand overhead. Exhale, arcing over, stretching or being active or filling space or making space in the left rib. and come back to center. Okay. From here, we're going to roll back into our tabletop briefly. And apparently my knee is going to pop. I don't know if you could hear that. That was my knee. Curl your toes, and we're going to shoot our hips back into a down dog. We'll come back to down dog a couple times, but maybe you want to walk out your dog. And then take a moment to really press into the tops of your shoulders with your fingers. And then we'll tippy toe, walk up slowly, and hang between our hands. Remember here, micro bend in the knees, space in the belly for breath. And we could be on the shins. Maybe you're on a block. Maybe you're on a dog. Whatever is supporting you here. Let your head hang nice and low. See if you can feel space pulling between each of your vertebrae. Feel your head getting heavy, being pulled toward the mat. All right, we're going to move our feet while we're in this pose, feet together. And we're going to slowly sit our hips back and bring our arms up into Uttanasana, or a chair pose. Hold here for just a moment, keeping those arms up, hips back, maybe even pull the toes up a little bit. Keep that chest open. These are the muscles that we want to activate when we're skiing and snowboarding and just in general being active. All right, take one inhale here and exhale, bending down, placing the hands on the mat, step back into plank. You can always do supported plank or traditional plank. Whatever plank you're in, hold it here for a moment. Pull that belly button into the spine. Feel the energy going down the back, down the legs, and out the heels. Inhale and exhale. Slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Say hello to your blocks that you're apparently on. We'll do a little sphinx. Pressing into the tops of our feet and into our hips. Palms next to our face. Forearms in the mat. Inhale. Little micro bend here. Sphinx. Keep that chest open. Feel that bend in the lower back. Of course, if anything is hurting, if this is too much for your lower back, back out of this. Go to child's pose or any other variety. All right, inhale, exhale, lower down, and we'll press through plank into down dog. See, we're in down dog again. Okay. Weight shifts to the left foot. Inhale, right leg up overhead. Exhale, bend the right knee and stack your hips, pulling that right foot back behind you. So your hips should be stacked. Breathing here. Now inhale and exhale. Bring that knee back across, and we're going to meet right knee with right elbow. Inhale, pushing the leg back and straight. Exhale, bending the right knee, squeezing through the center. Inhale, kicking the right leg back out straight. Exhale, bending the right knee, coming through center, right knee to left elbow. Inhale, kicking back out straight. And exhale, coming through the center, squeezing it through, and then planting the right foot between the hands. Shift your back foot, activate your thighs, pull them toward each other, and inhale up into warrior one. From here, inhale and exhale, shifting your foot, shifting your weight, and opening your hips into a warrior two. How you doing over there? From here, inhale And reach that right arm back. Left arm is right on your on your left leg. That was awkward. Peaceful warrior. Now shift your arm forward, leaning right forearm on right thigh, reaching the left arm overhead. It's a humble warrior variation. All right, so here, I'm gonna step my feet up together, bring my weight up into on my right foot, and we're gonna do a little tree pose. So tree, we can be on our ankle, so inhaling the left knee to bend and exhaling it out. Bringing that left foot to the ankle or to the shin or all the way up. Balance is such an important part of skiing and snowboarding. Well, just life in general, right? And of course, you can always hold on to a chair or a wall if you need it. If you fall out of tree pose, just come back here. All right, from tree pose, we're going to move through, and I'm going to change my position so you can see it, but we're going to move through into a warrior three. See if you can do this without touching your foot down. But if you can't, if you have to, you have to. It is what it is. But I'm going to release my leg. So now my knee is just here. I'm going to shift over to the side. Woo, try not to fall. My knee is up, and I'm going to press all of my weight into all four corners of my left foot, shifting the balance of my upper torso, finding my drishti, and reaching my left foot back into a nice warrior three. I'm going to hold here, and you can keep your arms here or reach your arm straight forward. Now, if this is feeling good and you really want to challenge yourself, see if you can bend your elbows and bring it into the core the same time you bring your knee in. Try it 2 more times. Bring elbows and knee into the core and then release. 1 more time. Elbows and knee into the core. And then, and then release and fall over just like me. Okay, so now shifting our weight again, coming back up to a standing position. Grab your left foot with your left hand. And you can just stay right here. Or reach out into a little bit of a dancer's pose. You have a little micro bend in your back. And you're activating your core and your thighs. Breathing into this. Activating that balance. And also the outer hip. Another thing we need for skiing and snowboarding. All right, and bring it back up as slow as we can. Release and come back up to standing. Okay, we'll do one more little posture here. From here, bringing that left knee up again. Bring the left ankle over the right knee and sitting back into a one-legged chair. Again, if you want to hold onto a wall or a chair, an actual chair. If we were doing this in a group, I'd have you hold on to each other. All right, one more breath in and exhale, release. Take it out. All right, good job. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Take a second, shake it out, and plant your feet. We're going to start with an Uttanasana again. So pressing our feet into the mat, almost beyond the mat. Inhaling that fingertips up toward the ceiling. Exhale, hinging at the hips, diving down to shins, our feet, or a block. We'll hang here for just a moment in our Uttanasana. Keep that head nice and low, relax it, maybe shake it yes, shake it no. Get that micro bend in your knees. All right, keeping your feet together, sending your hips back, raising your arms up. Uttanasana, chair. Activating those thighs, those glutes, your hips, all the things you need for skiing. Inhale and exhale, diving down, plant your hands and hop or step back into plank. And plank can be, of course, again, supported. Holding here, pulling that belly button to activate that core. Inhale and exhale all the way down. And here we will do another Sphinx pose again as I move all my stuff out of my way. Pressing into the tops of your feet, your hips, and inhale into a nice Sphinx pose. Warming up the back for some back bends later. Inhale and exhale, lower down. Pressing through the mat into a down dog. So, of course, now it's time for the other side. So weight on the right foot. Inhale the left leg nice and straight. Exhale, bending the left knee and stacking our hips, sending that left foot over toward the right. Now, if you remember from before, we're going to come out of this pose and go left knee to left elbow. So let's inhale and exhale, shift those hips and come through left knee to left elbow. Inhale, kick the leg back. Exhale, bending the knee, coming through the center. Squeeze it in. Inhale, kicking back. Exhale, bending the knee, coming to right elbow. Inhale, kicking back. Then exhale, bending the knee, squeeze the midline, and plant your left foot between your hands. Shift that back foot. The left toes are going toward the short end, right toes are going toward the long. And activate those thighs. Inhale up to warrior one. Inhale and exhale, shifting your weight, changing the back foot, opening up your hips, warrior two. Check that your knee is over your ankle. You're not folding in, keeping it nice and straight. And now inhale, your left hand up toward the ceiling, right hand goes along your right leg, or any variation, could be behind your back. Feel the space that's starting to build on the left rib. And exhale, left forearm to left thigh, reaching the right arm over. Humble warrior variation. Awesome. Now, if you remember from before, we're going to take our weight and move all that weight onto our left foot. And with our right, we're going to inhale it bent and exhale it out. And we can keep that left foot on the ankle or bring it up to the chin or all the way up. Never on the knee, of course, right? Tree pose. Bring those hands into a prayer pose at your chest. If you're really feeling it, see what your arms can do, whatever is in your tree pose practice for today. Really paying attention to the weight spreading evenly throughout your left foot. Your spine is nice and tall. Your core is active. All right, so if you remember, now we're going to transition into a warrior three. So I'm going to release my left or my right knee, keeping it bent here. We'll move to the side so you can see it. Woo! Maybe fall over. And tilting my torso forward and sending my right leg back. Keep your hips balanced. Warrior 3. Find your drishti. Maybe check in on the weight on your left foot. How does it change from tree pose? You notice anything different? Now you can stay here or join me in this little crunches again. So elbows and knee come into the core and reach out. So inhale, bring them in. Exhale, reaching out. And one more. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, reaching out. All right. So this time, when we come through, bringing our torso upright, bending the right knee toward the butt, capture your right foot with your right hand, chest open, holding right here, working on that balance, or sending out into a dancer, kicking your right hand into your right, your right foot into your right hand. I struggle, people, I struggle. Take one more breath here. And let's see if you can this time bring the weight through without touching down. Sitting my torso up straight, releasing my right foot and bringing my right knee up. And then the right ankle along my left knee. Now, if you have to touch down at any point, you can. And then I'm going to sit back into my one-legged chair. Again, these are all the muscles that we are really going to be using for stability. And this stability actually will help our lower backs and our skiing and snowboarding in theory. So keeping practice, even if we're not good at it now, keep practice. All right, take one more breath here, inhaling and exhale, straightening your knee and letting your right leg come down to rest and shake it out. Awesome. Okay. So from here, we're going to come down into a malasana. So one of the things we want to work on in skiing and snowboarding is that our hips are nice and flexible so that we have more movement, right? Especially for skiing. So toes pointing to the outer corners and coming down, knees wide, and there are a lot of variations for this. So I'll start with this is the most common, right? Elbows pressing against the knees and knees press back against the elbows. Hands perhaps in like prayer pose near a chest. If that's not doing it for you today, you can keep the elbows there and leaning forward, support with your hands. If that's still not doing it, of course, block under the hips. So whatever position you are in. All right, take one more nice deep breath here. Well, don't worry, we'll come back to it. We're going to shift our weight to the left. So I'm going to shift my weight here toward the left. My left foot is down. I'm going to move my right foot back. And we're going to do a little back bend here. So bring my torso up. Now, this is where you can, if you want to, use a strap. And I'll show you what we can do. So I'll show you the options. So from here, hands either on lower back, maybe just on the hips, a gentle back bend that's also pushing into the hips here. We have our hip flexors here and a lower back bend. Very, very gentle. If that's great, but you want to try something else, I'm going to loop on my yoga strap, capture my right foot if I can. See what happens, guys. And this is where if you wanted to use something under your knees, you could if you wanted to choose. But here's another. So using the strap to pull the leg up. I'm still pressing my hips forward. I still have a micro bend, and I'm pulling my back a little more. But whatever level is working for you. Take one more breath here. Inhale and exhale, releasing your strap if you use the strap. And we're going to do another malasana before we move on to the other side. Okay, so shifting my weight, coming back to a malasana of your choosing. Remember, using a block, supporting. Right. Remember to keep those knees pressing against your elbows and check in. Where are you feeling this? Do you feel it in your inner thighs? Do you feel it in your outer thighs? Where are you feeling this pose? All right, take one more breath here and exhale. Now we're going to be shifting to the right. So shift that weight over. Right foot is already planted. Left knee just moves back a little bit. You might want to put something under your left knee, even if it's just folding this over, and bring that torso up. Check to make sure that your hips are balanced. And remember, hands on the hips or maybe even the lower back, and a very gentle back bend here. And again, you should feel a little or pressure or a stretch or activity in the front here. And of course, if you want to try the strap again, strapping young man. I'm going to loop my strap, capture my left foot, and then bring, and then drop it as soon as I've done it. And then bring my back foot. I have a little back bend going. I'm still pressing into the front of my hip, and I'm pulling my foot toward my buttock. You don't have to use the strap for this. If you felt like just using your hand, you obviously could do that too. Felt like using a strap today. So whichever you are doing, or if you're petting your dog, you know, that's close to a back bend. That's definitely getting you ready for a big ski vacation. Okay, if you're pretending to do this, or if you are doing this, breathe a little more into this, maybe even press a little further. Check in what's feeling good, what is hurting. Back out of it if it hurts too much. Just gentle back bend here. All right, take another breath and exhale, whatever posture you're in. Maybe unfold your mat. And because I saw some puppies there, let's do a little Uttanasana asana, extended puppy pose. So hips staying up, chest and chin comes down to the mat, forehead to the mat, arms reaching out. Release some of that tension that maybe we built up. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale, release. And come back up into your tabletop and facing a different direction just to mess with my brain and maybe yours. Okay, we're gonna go back into a down dog. So curl those toes and send those hips up. And we're gonna step into a pigeon. So weight on the left foot, inhale the right leg up, Exhale, bending that right leg, bringing it through the center and meeting right knee with right hand. Of course, everybody's a little bit different, but see if where your shin is, if it can be parallel with the front. If you need to use some blocks or blanket under your hip, do so. Don't collapse into your right hip. Keeping that back leg nice and strong, even if you have to do a little bend, if that would be what feels better. Now we can stay just in this pose, still a little back bend here. Or if you're really feeling it today and you would like to do a sleeping pigeon, you can lean over and take a little rest. Good hip openers to remind us how to be present, right? So if we're going to practice being present, think about what are you feeling right now physically? Very often those physical sensations will bring us back to the present. Take one more really good breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. Slowly start to come out of our pigeon. I'm going to come back up to sitting and come back to my left knee, and I'm find myself easily back into a tabletop. From the tabletop, we'll go back into a down dog, curl the toes, send the hips up. And this time it's left leg. Weight on the right foot. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, bending the left leg, bringing it through the center. Left knee is by left thumb. So let's see where your shin is. If it is, in theory, parallel to the front of the mat, but it might not be. You can always use a blanket under your hip if you need it. And if you want to stay in your back bend here, great. Or if you want to do another sleeping pigeon, you can do that here too. Again, do a body scan. What are you feeling? Where are you feeling it? Are you feeling really present? Take one more good breath here, inhaling and exhaling. And I'm going to come out this time, bringing my legs in front of me. All right, shaking them out. So we did this last week, but I think we'll use it again since we're talking about also our back health. So our lower back often hurts because so many of us sit too much or stand too much, doing carpentry for hours and hours at a time. The lower back, we don't get a chance to rest that back or to strengthen the muscles that we need. So one way to alleviate some of that pain is legs up the wall. And just like I said last week, you can use a wall or not. You can also use just resting your legs against the wall or halves on the seat of a chair, or just laying back, legs up in the air. You can put a blanket or a comforter under your hips. That would feel better. It takes a lot of pressure off of your back, your lower back, your shoulders, your neck. And if anyone gets swollen ankles, always, especially after a lot of driving, which some of you are about to do, this can be really good to get the fluid out of your ankles. I actually did a variation of this pose once on one of my many long trips to Europe. It didn't look quite like this, but I did get my feet up And it was really awkward. And the people next to me thought I was totally crazy, but I didn't care. It helped. All right. So from here, let's bring our legs in. If you're at the wall, if you need to shimmy away from the wall, or if you need to move away from the chair, do so. But we're going to bring our knees into our chest. Apanasana, knee to chest, or wind relieving pose. Still funny because it's true. All right, hugging those knees to the chest. Maybe you want to roll back and forth if that feels good. Give your lower back a little massage. We've been working it a lot. And it's been said that one of the ways for us to help support our lower back is to increase our stomach muscles. So we're going to do that right now. All right. So from here, hold on to your right knee and stretch your left leg out without putting it down. And then we'll do a switcheroo. We'll switch. Left knee comes to the chest. I'm going to capture my left knee, reach my right leg out. Keep that foot active. Let's switch it again. We'll do this a few times. Try to keep your leg off the ground. So we're not slamming it down. We're keeping it active. Switch. Keeping your foot active. Your feet. All right, now let's start doing this a little faster. Switch. And switch. And switch. Just keep going kind of at this pace. Switch. And switch. Get the core active and working. Stronger your belly, maybe the stronger your lower back. Can't hurt to try. Maybe actually it could. Okay, let's see if we can speed it up. If you're feeling comfortable, switch, switch, switch. Going a little faster. Just think about the calories you're burning and the ice cream you get to eat later. But also think about how this is setting you up for success, for a strong lower back, and for a good day of skiing or snowboarding. All right, let's do 2 more. And done. Oh, excellent. All right. So from here, let's shake our legs out a little bit. And I'm going to reach my left leg out, bring my right leg across my knee, my left knee, and bring that left leg up toward my chest. And let's go ahead and stretch that left leg out again. Take your left hand to the right knee and draw that knee over to the left. So right knee is over to the left. Right hand reaches out to the right. Stare longingly at the palm of your right hand. And let's go ahead and release and come back into the center, reaching the right leg out, bringing left knee, left ankle across the right knee. I'm not good with anatomy. I apologize. Bring the right leg up toward the chest. Thread the needle this way. Hold and breathe. All right, let's straighten the right leg out. Bring the right hand to the left knee and pull the left knee over to the right. Left arm stretches left, eyes gaze on the left palm. And let's go ahead and bring ourselves back to the center. And let's do a reclined cobbler's pose. So the bottoms of our feet come together, arms maybe reaching out like a T to the side, and knees fall to the side. If you really need the support of a block under each knee, you can do so. Well, hang out here for a minute. And in fact, if you want to be here for longer, you can. You can put blankets under your back, whatever's going to feel good. But while we're here, just settle your breath and be aware of the breath. Be present in your breath without judgment, just observation. And I have another quote for you while we relax here. Abraham Maslow said, "The ability to be in the present moment is a major component of mental wellness." And I think that's what I really like the most about sports, is that you're forced to be in the present. If you're not, then you can hurt yourself or you lose the game. You have to be present. All right, when you're ready, shake your legs out. And if you want to do a Shavasana, I encourage a nice, I'm gonna windshield wiper my legs here actually for a second, but I encourage you to do a Shavasana from here for whatever, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. But otherwise we will close the class. So now that I'm gonna roll to my side, come up, and thank you so much for letting me join you on your yoga journey. And I hope I get to see you next week or the week after. Next week will be a video. The week after we'll be live again. All right. Thank you. Namaste.